got anything you want to say to me about what you've done?
I will not apologize for doing what I do.
What are you gonna do, Ray?
You gonna burn down your own house? Blow up everything you work for?
This ends tonight.
Throughout this movie, Ray, as Ray talks, there's little subtle repeats like, it cost me, you too, you too. Is that a Ray Tierney thing or an Edward Norton thing?
That's a funny way of putting it. I think, yeah, you know, you find your own rhythms in a film. You find a rhythm to a way a person speaks, or in this guy's case, I think a lot of the ways that he doesn't speak. You know what I mean? I mean, he's a character who's, even on the page, his silences are huge, you know what I mean? Or his evasions. And you know, the way I mean, the thing that I love about what Gavin hits on about families is, like, families, like, sometimes the toughest place to talk honestly, you know, because the stakes are high and the histories are old, and so you avoid, you know? Yeah.
And there's a scene where Ray is interviewing somebody, and he's talking, and he leans down to her, and he just whispers in a thread. He said, "If you're lying to me." And it just gripped me, that scene. And I swear to you, last night in my hotel room, I tried it 100 different ways, and it went 100 different ways. I mean, how do you figure out what's the right way to whisper a threat?
I think that in a lot of cases, you know, acting is playing around a lot. I mean, I'm not someone who really believes in kind of doing 6 or 7 times the same way and finding the right way. I think you need to sort of take shots around the target, and you do have to trust a director in some ways to work on the dynamics between performances and angles and things like that, and find little moments of strange magic. You know, hopefully he's able to pick things that pop in a way that you can't really predict in the moment.
Yeah, cause it came out of me. I don't know why it just surprised me so much, but that scene in particular, it was just, you know, he's kind of, you know, he's not really threatening, and then at that moment I realized these guys can do his job.
Well, it's you know, the funny thing about it, that's in a way the weird paradox of these cops, and that's why I like him as a character, because he is a thoughtful guy, and he is not an uncaring person. I mean, he's very able to sort of find a humanity in his job, but then that sort of steel comes into it, you know what I mean? Like that Irish cop who is not gonna, like, really tolerate a lot of crap, and it's a fun balance, you know? Can
you give me a comment about Jon Voight? Because the dinner table Christmas scene, we've all seen people play drunk. People have won Academy Awards for playing tipsy or drunk. I mean, and I was just blown away by this another subtle performance.
No, it's very interesting you mentioned that scene, because I think the entire time working on the film, I was the most surprised in the whole film by what Jon Voight did in that scene. I completely agree with you. And watching it, the first time I watched the film, it made me more emotional than any part of the scene, because I can't explain, he caught something there that was so, it wasn't on the page, and it just, like, even when we were doing it, it really froze everybody. It was it was so honest, and it was so insightful into what the kind of sentiment that a person gets into at a certain place in their life. And it really, I don't want to ruin the movie, but given what you know about him, it humanized the character in the most intense way. It was really great.
When you see so many movies as we do, it's like you notice these things, and you did an amazing job.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Well.
Thanks
a lot.
Thank you so much.